But finally, on the 8th time, and there's a lot of extenuating circumstances that led to this 8th time when I was finally ready to do it, I met a doctor at Creekside, Christian guy. I had my Trinity Western Spartans shirt on. And he looks at it, he says, "Is that yours, or did you get it somewhere?" I said, no, I went to Trinity Western, graduated from the seminary, and here I am, stuck on heroin. And he's telling me how his kids go to Trinity Western, how he supports the school, and we bonded, we connected. And he said, "What can I do for you?" I said, "Well, I want to go on the methadone taper because I got to be off. I want to be off this stuff permanently." He said, "Oh, you know the success rate of the methadone taper?" "No." 100%. Okay, I've been on this methadone taper before. It ain't 100%. 100% failure. It doesn't work. He says, "But if you want to be off of it, and if you trust me, and you follow what I say and what I prescribe, you can get off it forever. It may take some time. It's not going to take 6 days like it does here. It may take 6 months. It may take 6 years. Are you committed?" I said, "Yeah, it's time." I got out of there. Okay, now you have to realize this was Star Wars Day. I'm not even going to say it. On May 15th, I get out of there. I was supposed to be graduating from Freedom Session while I was in detox, and if Leanne is watching, then sorry. But I went to every Freedom Session that week, high. And by high, I mean under the influence of narcotics. I shouldn't have graduated anyway, despite doing all this stuff. But when I got out, I went to see him. He gave me a prescription for the next month. And I went and I took the prescription. I went daily to get the stuff and do it, and was feeling good. June 15th, I went and got another. It was a little bit less of a dose, but I was doing fine. We were talking. We were having a good time of getting together and fellowshipping. Any cravings? None. Feeling good. July 15th, I go and see him. He gives me the prescription. Any cravings? No, I'm feeling great. He says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, truly, I'm feeling wonderful." I go and fill the prescription, take my dose. I go home, and what happens? I get this mother of all cravings. And I'm starting to conspire in my mind, and there's a cacophony of voices pounding, thoughts going on in my mind. How can you do this? You don't have a phone. You don't have any money. I was on welfare. The phone was in the pawn shop. That's the only thing that saved me. And through this cacophony of thoughts that were going on in my mind, I hear this one word: pray. And it penetrated that sound, all that noise and chaos. Pray. And so I prayed, and this is what I prayed. I said, "Lord, I'm having an intense craving, and I am afraid that I am going to relapse. Would you please deliver me from this craving?" Before I said amen, craving gone. Moved on to the next day. The next day was an even stronger craving. For the next 11 days, the cravings got more and more intense than the day before. Finally, on the 27th, the day after welfare day, when I had cash, and I got my phone out that Thursday, the 27th of July, I'm having this craving that I've never experienced before. I'm sweating. My veins are bulging. My blood pressure is shooting through the roof. I can't see straight. I got my phone and I'm shaking. And I'm trying to get it started, and I'm trying to find the contacts button. And through this, I'm conspiring in my mind. How am I going to use it? Where am I going to use it? Who am I going to get it from? All this stuff. How can I hide it from the family? How can I hide it from everybody?